what does it feel like as you get playing Colorado? I mean, this is obviously a huge first-round matchup that it's going to be big for you. It's going to be big for a lot of guys.
Yeah, I mean, I look at it as no different than last year. You're right into the Lions' den, man. It's and they're right in the Lions' den with too. So this is a conference final caliber matchup. Two teams that I've seen people pick both of us this year to win the Stanley Cup, and that's pretty nuts. You play each other in the first round. So, I mean, it's no different than Florida Tampa on the other side. Very similar kind of matchup over there, and there's no easy series in this league anymore. It doesn't matter. I mean, Winnipeg, look how great a season they had, and they get St. Louis, St. Louis, hottest team in the league down the stretch, and a team I think that everyone was scratching their heads on, how they weren't in it all year. So, no, it's playoff hockey. It's, you're going to have to play 6 to 7 games most likely in the series, and I'm excited. I think last year was a really great experience for me personally. It was the first time I've gone that far and had a real sniff at it, and I learned a lot last year, and I mean, that Vegas series, I don't know if I'll ever be able to play a series that was that mentally and physically draining and stressful. So that experience was outstanding for me, and I know for a lot of guys in here, and I'm excited. I look at tomorrow a little different than I looked at last year. Last year it felt a little heavy, a little bit of pressure. This year I'm just just grateful and excited. I think those are if I can have those two words, and if we can have those two words in our vocabulary going into tomorrow, I think we're going to be well off.
Coming back from the 0-2 against Vegas, can it help you at the time? I mean, I know it's just a regular season, but the 0-5-2 to end, it seems like
we don't care about that.
Okay.
We don't know. No, we don't like where our game was at for a lot, but there were some games that we played pretty well. And I mean, even against Nashville, we could have scored 4 or 5 goals, no problem. We had some lapses on the defensive side of the puck, but offensively, it was probably our best game in a long time. And Saros is one of the best goalies in the league and played great. So, and we were still. I mean, when there's no implications on a game, you cannot. We're human. You can't mentally get up for it the same as we're going to be up for tomorrow. So. I think we're excited. I think we believe in each other, and the sky's the limit for us. And the big thing is just at the end of the day, I think it's almost us against us more than anything. Is just getting our game to the top level we can be at, and that gives us the best chance to then beat them.
How quick is this team to overcome injuries to players?
How quick are we to?
No, how are you guys set up in a way with depth-wise and talent to overcome injuries?
Yeah, I mean, when Robo's in, I mean we have 3 first lines, and our fourth line's more like a third. I mean, our fourth line, there's been a lot of times down the stretch they've been our most dominant offensive line in terms of puck possession, stuff like that. So, and you got a guy go down, you plug one of those guys in their top 9, and away you go. So we're not worried about that. I think, when you lose a guy like Miro on the back end, I always say, you lose a top 3 D-man on your team, it's like losing 2 top 6 forwards. That's the effect it has. They just play so many minutes, and they have such an effect on the game. That's been the injury I think that we've noticed the most. That's for a guy that's been out, because a guy like that takes up so much space and plays so many minutes. Yeah, I mean, if Robo's not there, it's we have an opportunity to fill in with great guys and continue to move forward.
What's the challenge for Mikko? You went through it a little bit last year. This one's a little bit more immediate for him.
Yeah, everyone's got I can't speak on it. I think everyone's got his own. I'd already played Colorado in the playoffs before last year, so last year was it didn't, it was a non-factor. I think everyone handles it differently. I think when it's your first team, it hits a little different, and but I think he'll be fine. I think he seems fine. He seems himself. He seems focused on just winning and moving forward, and so everyone's got different experiences with that. You'd have to ask him.
His playoff numbers are through the roof. Is there anything he does whether that's his size, the playoff? I don't know. He comes through at key times.
Well, I think that whole team over there's playoff numbers are through the roof. So I think he was a part of that and a byproduct of it. So we probably don't need him to do what he did over there, because we do it a little bit more by committee. We're not as completely top loaded as they were, where it was 5 guys basically ran they won or lost with those 5 guys when during his time there. This year they look different too. They're deeper. I think they're a more complete team. They're going to be a tougher opponent than they've been in the past. So yeah, we don't need him to be 2 points per game or 1.5 per game. We don't need that. We just need him to go be himself, and what if the pucks are going in or not, he can have a big effect on a series, and we just need him to go be himself, and that's what we need out of everybody. Just be yourself, be your A self, and that's all it is.
game ones have gotten away from this team a bit
Yeah.
historically. You
Yeah.
haven't been here for all of them, but
No.
how was that addressed today? Sagan said that that's been kind of a point of emphasis.
I had brought it up after last game, and it was something that Jamie and I had talked about a lot. And it's a mentality. I think this team has a tendency to, almost test the waters first, almost lead with wisdom rather than energy. And I just said, screw that. Let's go out. Let's go right after it right away. Let's win game one. I mean, you got it. We lost game one every time last year, and my 3 series here, and I know they lost, I think, 4 before that. So, it's time for us to break that streak, and no better time than tomorrow.